So I think it's time that I finally take you guys on a bit of a field trip. Renegade Assassins USA. Yes, that is the name of the comic, Renegade Assassins USA. So what is the plot of this story? What does it entail, you might ask? Well, let's dive deep into it. Determined to find his family and return home, a young 13-year-old super soldier assassin plans to expose a secret network of conspiracy tied to the disappearance of many kids under a government he vows to destroy. So the story basically revolves around the main character, whose name is Malcolm. Malcolm is a 13-year-old super soldier assassin. This isn't, your typical superhero, whoever punches the hardest wins. It's very tactical. Malcolm, being a super soldier, part of his training is that he was trained to be a very tactical killer, essentially, like that, based off of more of skill, not based off of how powerful you are in terms of brute strength. The story is going to be deep. The story is going to be dark. It's going to cover a lot of, I guess, what people would deem controversial topics in today's day and age. If you're the kind of person that loves story-driven, deep lore, conspiracy, mystery type stories that's going to dive down in the rabbit hole, this is that kind of story. The thing about this comic is that as much as it's entertainment for people to enjoy, and, to enjoy a good story, I have bought countless books studying the techniques of, like, say, the CIA and what they did to certain people, and eyewitness testimonies and historical accounts of certain events that happened in history. It's not just imagination, obviously, but I'm incorporating real life hardcore things into this story that is going to make it all that much more real and that much more authentic, because when I create characters, when I create a story, when I create the world, I'm basing the world and the story, yes, even though it has its own fictional elements, I'm basing it off of things that are obviously in this world, but like I said, with much great research, to the point where, like I said, when you watch the story, you can relate to it, you can actually understand and get a feel for the characters in their realness, that this isn't just simply a character that is just simply made up off the top of my head with no relation to reality whatsoever. Renegade is just a segment of the much larger universe, and that's what I'm trying to do with this comic. I'm trying to create an actual universe. So think of Star Wars, think of Marvel, think of DC and things of that nature. A lot of the technology that is going to be within this story, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from 1940s technology and I'm incorporating it within this story. A lot of contraptions and mechanisms that you'll see in the story will be made up by me. They'll have their roots stemmed from actual things that have existed. I've actually taken my time to sketch and draw out how each contraption is going to work, and I'm a perfectionist, so it has to make sense in my head. Like, I'm sketching it as if I'm actually about to send this out to, like, the military, basically, so people could actually look over it. This is gonna be diving into the realm of conspiracy, right? So a young Malcolm is determined to find his way back to his home because he was abducted. He lost his family at the hands of these people that wanted to abduct him. Malcolm intends to basically expose exactly what these people are doing, because their interest seems to be in kids. They're not just kidnapping anyone, they're kidnapping kids. So like I said, it is a deep and dark story. The future of this comic and the goal I plan to achieve is it would be amazing if I could eventually have my comic animated. That has always been the goal. I've always wanted to basically create my own anime, my own, show, if you will. In the future, what I want to do is set up a GoFundMe so I could eventually get the funds to begin, funding the project for materials and actually getting it into comic book form, and the sketching and the artists and stuff like that. My artist, by the way, I actually looked up on Fiverr. If you guys are interested in going onto Fiverr for any artists, look no further than, I don't know how to say, but Atelieredge. I don't know how to pronounce that name. But going back to what I was saying, I would like to set up a GoFundMe because I want to be able to really get this project going. This is my passion right here, and like I said, a lot of what I'm doing does tie in to the content I'm going to be talking about on this channel. If you guys want to support this project, like I said, I will be starting a GoFundMe pretty soon. I don't know when that'll be, but I'll probably try to have it up sometime next month. If any of you guys even know any artists or storytellers that I can even talk to who are also doing the same thing that I'm doing, and maybe we could connect so we could maybe try to get more help as far as from other writers and artists and things of that nature. But without saying too much more, I'll see you in the next video.